Claude in PowerPoint is insane. You're still building slides by hand, one by one, dragging text boxes, fixing alignment, copying data from spreadsheets, formatting charts that never look right, and it takes you hours, sometimes an entire afternoon, for one presentation. Meanwhile, there's a tool that does it in seconds, and most people have no idea it even exists. That changes right now. Anthropic just released Claude directly inside PowerPoint. Not a separate app, not some janky workaround, an actual add-in that sits inside PowerPoint and builds slides for you while you watch. And by the end of this video, you're going to know exactly how to set it up, how to use it, and the specific prompts that get the best results. Plus, I'll show you the limitations nobody's talking about so you don't waste your time. Stick around because what I'm about to show you at the end might be the most useful part of this entire video. So let me explain what this actually is. Claude in PowerPoint launched on February 5th, 2026 as a research preview. It's an official add-in from Anthropic that you install directly from the Microsoft Marketplace. Once it's installed, you get a Claude panel right inside PowerPoint. You type what you want, and Claude builds it. But here's what makes this different from other AI presentation tools. Claude actually reads your existing deck, your slide master, your layouts, your fonts, your color scheme. It uses all of that when it creates or edits slides. So if you have a company template with specific brand colors, Claude follows those rules. It doesn't slap generic slides together. You also get to switch between two AI models, Sonnet 4.5 for quick edits and simple tasks, or Opus 4.6 for complex work like restructuring an entire deck or rewriting a narrative. Think of Sonnet as your quick assistant and Opus as your deep thinker. Let me walk you through how this actually works in practice. Say you have a spreadsheet with your quarterly data. You open PowerPoint with your company template loaded, you open the Claude panel, and you type something like, create a 5-slide summary of our Q4 performance using the data from the attached spreadsheet. Include a chart showing month-over-month trends. Claude pulls the data, builds the slides, formats everything to match your brand. And here's the key part. Everything it creates is fully editable. These aren't static images, they're real PowerPoint elements, text boxes you can click and edit, charts you can update, shapes you can move around. That's a huge deal because with a lot of other AI tools, you get an image that looks like a slide, but you can't change anything without starting over. But wait, it gets better. And this is the part most people miss. You can also use Claude to fix and improve slides you've already made. Let's say you have a 40-slide deck that's been through 6 rounds of edits and it's a mess. Different fonts everywhere, inconsistent formatting, slides that are way too dense. You can tell Claude to review every slide for typos and inconsistent punctuation and fix them all. One prompt, done. Or you can say, simplify every slide in this deck to no more than 3 bullet points per slide and move the extra detail to speaker notes. That used to take at least an hour. Now it takes one prompt and a quick review. Here's another use case that saves a ton of time. Translations. If you have a presentation in English and you need it in Spanish or Japanese or any other language, Claude translates the entire deck while keeping the layout intact. The formatting stays. The structure stays, only the text changes. And for anyone who builds pitch decks or sales materials, this is where it really shines. You can tell Claude things like, build a market sizing section with TAM, SAM, SOM slides, or create a competitive landscape slide comparing 4 players. It understands presentation conventions. You give it the content. It gives you the structure and the visuals. Now, I want to give you the prompts that actually work well, because the prompt you use makes a huge difference. Start with your template already loaded before you ask Claude to do anything. And be specific. Don't just say, make me a presentation. Instead, say something like, using this template, create a 10-slide deck walking through an assessment of the healthcare industry. Include a title slide, an executive summary, 3 slides on market trends with supporting data, 2 slides on competitive analysis, a SWOT analysis slide, a recommendations slide, and a closing slide with next steps. You can even tell it which slide layouts to use if you know their names from your template. Another great prompt pattern is to upload a document or data file along with your template and say, turn this report into a 10-slide presentation. Pull the key findings and create visualizations for the data tables. Claude converts bullet points into diagrams, process flows, and native PowerPoint charts. When I first started using tools like this, I was honestly overwhelmed. There are so many AI features coming out every week, and it's hard to know which ones are actually worth your time. Let me get into the limitations because I think this is just as important as the features. And nobody else is covering this honestly. First, it's still in beta. Complex templates can trip it up. If your template has really intricate layouts with lots of nested elements, Claude might not handle every detail correctly. Always review the output before sharing a deck externally. Think of it as a strong first draft that needs a human eye, not a finished product. Second, there's a file size limit of 30 megabytes. For most presentations, that's plenty. But if you're working with massive decks loaded with high-resolution images, you might hit that wall. Third, chat history is not saved between sessions. Every time you close and reopen the add-in, you start fresh. So try to do your work in one session if possible. Fourth, and this is important, Anthropic themselves have flagged a security consideration. If someone sends you a template or data file with hidden instructions embedded in it, Claude might follow those instructions without you realizing it. This is called a prompt injection attack. So only use Claude in PowerPoint with files you trust. Don't download random templates from the internet and immediately start using Claude with them. Fifth, your usage counts against your existing Claude account limits. So keep that in mind if you're a heavy Claude user already. Now, the obvious comparison is Microsoft Copilot in PowerPoint. Both tools sit inside PowerPoint. Both can generate and edit slides. But Claude differentiates with its deep template awareness, fully editable native elements instead of images, and the option to choose between model tiers depending on whether you need speed or depth. Plus, Claude handles nuanced, multi-step instructions really well. The bottom line is this: if you build presentations regularly, whether that's weekly reports, client pitches, team updates, or training materials, this can save you serious time. And the best way to think about it is not as a replacement for your design skills. It's a co-author that handles the tedious parts so you can focus on the strategy, the story, and the message.